Wow, the 1960s to 1970, that's pretty, because I started out to 1960 at 2 years old. So I was what, 10 years old at 1970? So I, uh, I was born on 6/19, 1958. That's June 19, 1958 is when I was born. My mother and dad, my dad was born in 1920. He is a WW2 vet, and he started out as a truck driver when I was younger like that. But then he went to he was a he's just a factory rat. He's a burr grinder on gears, for the big rigs. Um, Back when he was alive, before 1976, when he died. He died on April the 3rd, 1976. He was going to turn 56 shortly after that. But then my mother, she was born. She was born in 1927. 1927. And I guess she was pretty good with the drums. And she said she was really, really good in the drums, and she could play the drums. Because I asked her one time, she started beating the beat on on a bucket, and I'm going, wow, my mother can play the drums, wow. And I heard her play the piano. Man, she's really good in piano. I mean, she'd play a song, and she'd stop, and the neighbors would hear it, and they'd come over and say, "Why'd you stop? Come on, let's hear you play some more." And she'd play at the fair. When the fair came to town, she'd play at the fair. She was really good on the piano, really good. And then she's really good in crocheting, making afghans and stuff like that. She's really great in that stuff. She's great. That's my mother, and she was born 1927. And yeah, she had me, June 19, 1958, and she thought it was special, so she added two N's to my name. So my name is D-A-N-N, Dan only, no Daniel, no none of this. And I went through all that shit in school. They say, oh, only put one N on your name. No, there's movie people in Hollywood that have two N's too. So it's not that unusual. So my name is D-A-N-N, and the reason my middle name is J is because they thought I was going to be a girl. And they were going to name me after my mother, which is Julianne. Her name was Julier. So they're going to name me after her, Julie. So instead of putting Julie there, they put J there. And that's the reason. That's the reason why I'm Dan J. A lot of people call me Danny J. But this is the 1960s to 1970. So, these 70s, at the end of the 70s, video games started coming around. Went around 1974, I think. I think Pong came out in 1974 or 3. 74, I think. But Pong, and I was hooked from that point on. I was hooked before that because they had like arcade games with Pong on it. I saw that, I said, wow. The first video game system I had was the Odyssey, not the Odyssey 2, but the Odyssey. And that was just a light on the screen with screen overlays without any sound, had no sound. And that system I don't even want. I sold that for like $10, I think. Had big old cords on it and little big controllers, and just the car you put in there. But that's not a video game. And then they came out with the Atari 2600. Yeah, with interchangeable cartridges. See, like this. See, cartridges like that. See, Atari 2600. That was the Master Daddy. And I heard that Steve Jobs, who did the iPhone of Apple, he had something to do with the Atari Pong that came out. But Steve Jobs was a genius. He was a genius. And that's what I read. I read that he died from a very curable cancer because he decided not to do treatment and do something else, and so he died. So he was a genius, but he's kind of stupid on that point because he couldn't have been saved. But anyway, the iPhone Apple computer, and also he did special effects at Disney. He was the special effects man at Disney, and many other things. He did so many things, man. He's like a Thomas Edison. He's like a Thomas Edison of the you know of today's day. But anyway, that's 1960s, and and then I think the Triangle game came out. Astrocade, I think it's Astrocade or something. No, not Astrocade. Oh, I forget the name of it, but the one with the triangle, you put the triangle on the very top. I think they made, 6 or 8 games for it. Triangle games. I had that. I had like 27, 28 systems and cartridges. But let's see. I'm talking about the 1960s, and this is 1970. Okay, that's 1970. No, that's 1974. Okay, so not much happened in the 1960s. I'll tell you what. Really did happen though. Uh, when I was in school, the best achievement I had in the 1960s from kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. That's my elementary years. Um, First thing that happened that was good to me, because like I said, kindergarten, and I flunked, and I got held back in kindergarten again, so that wasn't so good. But then in gym class, we this one time we decided we're gonna climb rope, right? The gym teacher said, "Okay, everybody's climbing rope today," and I'm watching these people. They're struggling. They're like inchworming. They're like inchworming up the rope, trying to get up. They get halfway and come back down. Some of them went to the top that way, inchworming with their legs and then their arms and their legs and their arms and their legs and their arms, and touch the I-beam. Then their legs and their arm down, legs and their arm down, legs and their arm down, legs and arm down. And they were struggling. Well, damn. Shit, I thought this shit would be easy, because at home I'd be outside playing and climbing, trees and stuff, and I had no problem with my weight, lifting my weight up at all. And I'd be running, I'd be on my bike, and be, me and my friend lived in back of me. When we'd go to school each day, we figured out, okay, we're gonna jump cement squares, where they section off cement. You got squares, and see how many we can, see how far we can jump them. Like maybe even 2 of them. So we'd be run, jump, and we'd jump a square, and then square and a half, 2 squares, Okay, so I got running and jumping too. So run long jump, that's run long jump. That'll come into play in the 1970s. Let's see. Yeah, being in the 70s, I guess. But anyway, in gym class, this is, I don't know, fourth grade or so, maybe fifth, I don't know. But I saw all these kids. There's like 15 kids ahead of me. They're all struggling. Boys and girls, both all struggling to get up the rope. They're trying to deal with their body weight to get up that rope. I'm like the 16th person. I'm going, all these kids are having trouble. So what I'm going to do, I'm thinking this. I'm going to hit that rope. I'm going to go hand over hand, down, not even use my legs, and hand over hand down. So that's exactly what I did. The teacher says, okay, your turn. Go over there, hit the rope, hand over hand down, boom, hit the I-beam, 30, 40 feet up, hand over hand down. And everybody started, there was a circle around the row of all kids, in my class. They all started, yay, they're clapping, yay, that was great. I wowed them. They were all wow. They're all, oh wow, because I was the only person that did that. use my just my hand, up and just my hands down. Teacher comes over and said, "Yeah, you're the best. Um, like 15 schools around here. You're the fastest ever. Like 15 of the grammar school, the grammar or uh, grammar. You want to say grammar or the other word, whatever. Elementary or grammar school. You're like the best out of 15 schools around here." I'm going, "Wow, really?" And all the kids are going, "Yay!" That was like a highlight in my life. And then I guess this was more in the 70s, but I'm gonna put that in this because this was like in 5th or 6th grade. It's back when the gym teacher would pick the people who goes out to represent their school for different events, for different physical events. And so I was picked. I was picked to go for the running long jump and the 50-yard dash. I won the 50-yard dash. Photo finish. It was 2 of us, and they said, "No, I'm gonna take second anyway, or we're gonna run it over." And we never did. We never ran it over, and I never got my ribbon. So I guess I took second. His foot was here, my foot was here, or like that on the line. His foot was here, my foot was there. It was a photo finish on a 50-yard dash, and I saw it that way too. But anyway, the running long jump, I took it. I took first place. There was no question about that. And I think that was because me and my friend in the back always jumped cement squares, and see how far we can run and jump. And we jumped from cement to cement though. On the running long jump, we went down dirt and then into sand, and it was measured by your heel. And then, how far your heel went. So, you couldn't cheat, like step forward like that. So it's always the back, your farthest back heel. So I took it, no question. I took first place in running long jump in the 5th or 6th grade when I represented my school. This one right here is County Fair. That one right there is County Fair in the 70s. I'll tell you about those when I talk about the 70s. This is May 19th, 1970, so that's kind of from 1960 to 1970. It says 10 foot, 10 and a half inches, so about 10 foot 11 inches, almost 11 feet. I jumped almost 11 feet with a running long jump. See, right there. There's my purple first place ribbon. That's 5th or 6th grade, right there. Right there is what it tells you. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's 10 foot, 10 and a half inches. Took first place, and I'll talk about my dogs when I'm after in the 70s, and my graduation in the 70s. Okay, so this is from 1960 to 1970. So that's about it. And I had a couple good friends. One was I had probably 6 or 7 good friends actually in the neighborhood, and they kind of left the neighborhood and then lost track of them. And one friend I met from school. The other friend I had, my 2 closest friends was one I met from school, and then one that lived right behind me. And we always played together, and we always went to school together and stuff like that. So, and that's the one I ran. We were running, jumping cement squares, and that was my best friend. Then he moved away when I got into junior high school, and then the other friend, we met. We kind of liked each other. We wanted to see who could put who down, right, down the ground. So I was taking judo at the time, so he didn't have no chance. So I took him down, got around his neck like this, took him down to the ground and held him there and said, "Okay, you win." And that's how I became friends with him. And later on in high school, he became the state champion wrestler. And he was all sports freak, baseball, football, and whenever the season was, he was at, and I wasn't really into that. So um, at the end of my elementary school years, I kind of lost track of him, and but when he got in high school, but he kind of cheated in that though, because he was keeping his weight, so he's like the lowest weight you can be, because he's about the same size as me, maybe a little taller. But he would watch his weight, so he'd stay down low, because he knew if he went weight higher, he'd lose. He had a big chance of losing. So he like, I guess if he'd keep his weight down, not eat and stuff like that, keep his weight down. So he won like flyweight, state champion flyweight. Oh, that's also my brother. My brother was also a wrestler in school. The one that plays guitar and musical instruments, and black belt in judo, black belt in karate, and professional fisherman, professional tie, you know, tire. He ties flies for fishing, and he sells them on eBay. And that guy, he was also he graduated in 1969, but he was also a wrestler in school. I don't know how well he did or not, but he was a jock. He was like a jock, but he's like the smartest person in my family, and a physical person like I am. I'm physical, but anyway, because I took karate. I took karate, the same karate he did, Okinawan karate, um, Wei Churu karate, or Kung Fu karate. I took Kung Fu karate for 2 years, so I know what I'm doing. I know I can defend myself. But today is 8/4/2015. There's my perfume from Paris, Man Mansolia. I'm going to talk to you about my childhood friends, and this is my shoulder. This is my shoulder pink pouch purse. See, it unsnaps and it shows a pouch. And then the purse part zips. See, so it's and it snaps. So it's a pink pouch purse that snaps, that zips and snaps. Pink pouch purse that zips and snaps. And I'm going to talk to you about my childhood friends. I tried this once already, but I went too long. Hell, it was 30 minutes. I talked about it 30 minutes. But, yeah. Uh, right now I'm a CD bottom. I'm a CD bottom. I just dress as a female, and I like getting anal sex, penis in my anal, face to face, kissing and hugging on lips and stuff. So I don't know if you call me gay or, um, I like men. I like to suck their penis and get it hard, and then have them mount me, and we kiss and hug, and I don't care, doggy style, but I'd rather have it face to face where we can kiss and hug some more. But yeah, I'm a CD right now. I've thought about transgendering from male to female and go the whole 9 yards, the whole way. That's the '60s expression saying the whole thing. Go transgender. Right on down to surgery and having a surgical vagina, so I can have regular vagina sex and anal sex. But I love anal sex. It makes me feel like I'm gonna blush like this. I'm gonna blush, and then it gets me hard while we're pumping, we're riding together, and I'm riding their penis, and I just like that, because it's the most feeling. I had sex with a lady that was 37 years old. She already had 4 kids, and she was living with having a living boyfriend. And then after we did it 4 times on 4 different days, and spent the night once, and when she got fighting with her boyfriend, she'd come over to my house and we'd have sex. But that's kind of lame. I hardly felt anything. I'm doing all the work and I hardly felt anything. So she told her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend was okay with it, and we were done. She said, he said, I'm okay with it, as long as you don't keep doing it. So we stopped then after 4 times. So then I'm going, man, that's pretty lame. So I started running ads on Craigslist. I got about 12 people, throughout the years, not right away, one here, one there, and we'd have sex. They'd come over, we'd kiss, and then I'd suck their penis hard, where they can stick it in my anal, and we had sex. Before that, though, many years before that, I was doing anal sex with a dildo. Now I have the biggest dildo you can get, 6.5 inches around by 6 inches high, and I come every time on that. But I've never come with a partner yet, but I do get hard. When they stick the penis in and we start riding it, I get real hard, and then almost ready to come one time, but then he stuck it in too hot fire and I lost it. Almost come one time, but that's how much of a feeling I get from a really good feeling. But anyway, I'm here to talk about my childhood friends, not my sexual innuendos. I had sex about 12 times, anal sex. And then I had vagina sex with that one girl that's 37 years old, had 4 kids, and a living boyfriend. And she told him, so we were done then. Okay, so, and that was one of my younger childhood days. But I was 20 and she was like 8, I think, and then she left the street and came back when she was 37, and she said she had a big crush on me back then. So, first I said no, I wasn't going to have sex with her. Then she was talking to the neighbor I had over and going, yeah, he's a virgin, he's a virgin. I was 50 years old, and he knew I was a virgin. I was a virgin when I was 50. So she asked me again. I says, hell, what the hell? What do I got to lose? I got condoms, I always want to have protected sex so I don't, die of AIDS or something stupid. And so I have condoms, and I have anal lube. And but we just used condom and we had sex, 4 different days and 4 different occasions. And she spent the night once, and we were done with that after her boyfriend said he was okay with it, and as long as she don't do it anymore, so we're done. And that was Tara Ensley, who I had sex with, and she was 8 years old when she left the street. But when she came back, she was 37 years old. So now it's like I said, 50. But I'm not here to talk about my sexual innuendos. I'm here to talk about my childhood friends, and she was one of them. So, but she was in the later stages of my friends. So my first friend was Pat Fitzsimmons. Pat Fitzsimmons had a dad named Leonard Fitzsimmons, and a mom named Mary Ann Fitzsimmons. So it's Leonard and Mary Ann Fitzsimmons. And Leonard didn't stay there very much. He only stayed there once in a great while. So they were separated, And they had Pat Fitzsimmons as their kid. So, and he lived right behind me. So we always played, since I was like 3 years old, I think. 3 or 4 years old. Because he's like a year younger. So he was my best friend. And that was Pat Fitzsimmons. And then later on, a few years later, 4th, 5th grade, I think. 4th, 5th grade, I would think. And I got another friend from school. His name was Timmy Allen. And I think he was in the same grade as me. And so was Pat Fitzsimmons, I think, or he was a grade behind. They were either a grade behind or the same grade. And so I met, I was become friends with Timmy Allen, and he was a big sports fan, and I think he joined Little League. Yeah, he was a Little Leaguer, and and he liked football, he liked basketball, he liked hockey, and he liked all them, the seasonal sports, and bowling, and we were me, my brother, Timmy Allen, and Pat Fitzsimmons, I think, was on a bowling team for a couple of years during my grade school years, and then I decided I want to stay home and watch Scooby Doo, Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? So I stayed home after a couple of years being on a bowling team. But anyway, it was Timmy Allen and his mother and dad. Let's see, I forget what their Katie was his mother. She was like an abrupt type woman. She was an abrupt type woman, and they had a kid. They had two other kids. I think they had two boys and a girl. I think her name was it Penny? Was it Penny Allen? And then it was Timmy Allen and oh shit, what was this other? I didn't know him that much, but he had a brother. He had another brother. I forget the name of him, but anyway, he wasn't my friend. It was Timmy Allen was my friend, but and then I stopped being friends with everybody after junior high school. When I went to high school, I just stick to myself. So it was like in the 1975, I think. I was friends up to everybody till then, because I decided, I don't want to deal with this no more. I just want to be, by myself. So, but Timmy Allen had a friend named what was it? Shoot, now I can't think of his name. It's he had a couple friends. Oh shit. Ronnie Byers. Ronnie Byers was his friend, and he was also a sports type person, and bowling, basketball, football, and stuff like that. And but he was more his friend. I only saw Ronnie a couple times. I was never really friends with him and never played with him really. And he's just a little bit older than me, but I have a brother that's a year and a half older, and he was more friends with them, with Timmy Allen and Ronnie Byers and them. He was more friends with them. I wasn't, but and that was him. And then let's see, and then Pat Fitzsimmons, okay, and let's see, and then I had we lived on a street. I lived at 1319 Poplar Place, and that was a dead-end street off of Stockbridge. It goes like this, Stockbridge, and it goes into the dead-end street, and then March Street back there, which that's what street my best friend lived on, Pat Fitzsimmons. He lived on March Street, but he was right, our yards were connected. And then Timmy Allen lived over on Division. It goes Stockbridge, and it goes March Street, and then it goes Washington, and then Division is off Washington, and they had a lot across the street. It was it used to be a house there, but they tore the house down and put dirt in and put grass there. So we used to play like touch football and games there, and then in his house and stuff, because he only lived like a block away, if that, So, and his mother's name was Katie Allen, and I forget what his dad's name was. I never really saw his dad, but then he had another he had a brother and then a sister. I think his sister was Penny, I think. And then Richie Allen, I think, or something like that. Richie Allen. And then I was friends with Timmy Allen, and that was like next to my best friend. And like I said, I quit being friends with everybody after my junior grade year, which is ninth grade, around 1975. I quit. I wanted to be by myself, and let's see. Okay, so them are my two closest best friends, and then there was a house at the end of our street, in then there's Washington Street. Went that house in Washington Street, and they lived on Washington, and it was a 2-story house on Washington, and their names was Dick Judy and Robin Judy. So it's Dick and Robin Judy. They were brother and sister. Then their mother. I'm not sure what their mother's name was because I never saw them. I always played with the kids. Dick and Robin Judy, and I really played with Robin the most because then we got together and we started kissing and hugging and stuff, and then we decided we want to lay on the picnic table, just kiss lip to lip like that. So we just, and then we're done doing that. We got up, and then I went to kiss her again, and she said, "Oh, my mother said we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing this." And so I chased her. She went up on the picnic table, and I went up on the picnic table, and then she jumped off the picnic table and then fell down on her knee on some glass. She started crying and ran home. Then she went to the hospital and told her mom what happened, and so they decided, or she decided, her mom decided, oh, you ain't gonna play with them no more. So then like a week or two later, they moved and never saw them again. And it was Robin and Dick Judy. They were good friends. I liked them. We used to go on their porch and stuff and act like we were the Monkees, and we started singing like the Monkees, and because we liked the Monkees. But okay, then they had a black friend, an Afro-American friend that lived across the street. I think his name was Carl. And he's a skinny kid, and I liked him. He was a nice kid, but I'm not sure what happened to him. I think he moved away too. And then there was another kid that I think he was friends with Timmy Allen. Brian Wadsworth. There was Brian Wadsworth that used to live on Washington in an apartment, and he had red hair, and we always call him Red. We always call him, "Hey, Red," red hair. And then there were, and he was kind of a friend of ours. And then there was, I forget the other kid's name. There's Nash or something like that. He wasn't too much of a friend of anybody's. But then what was it? It was let's see. Then this guy, one house away from me on the same street. His name is Bill Cowley. And his mom was Betty Cowley, and his dad was Bill Cowley Sr. So that was Bill Cowley Jr. He was always weird, and I guess because he'd smoked dope, since he smoked pot a lot when he was a kid, and plus he said he did all the other drugs like cocaine and all the other drugs, and like speed and LSD and stuff like that. He did all the drugs, he said, and then now today he does marijuana. He got a card and he buys and sells it. No matter if you have a card or not, he'll sell to you. But because he believes in marijuana is like it's good for you. He's thinking, which is not. It's not the THC, the part that makes you high. It's not that. It's the CBD in it. So the higher the CBD in a marijuana, the less you can get high until you can't get high no more. So if it has very mild amount of more CBD, you can't get high on it. No matter if you smoke 1,000 joints, you can't get high on it. So that's the real medical marijuana, but that's not what he's into. He's in the street marijuana, which is an illegal drug, and but it's legal in Michigan because it's you can get a pot card in that. Michigan is a pot state, and this is Kalamazoo, Michigan. So he got his pot card. He probably paid the doctor $100 to get it, and so. But anyway, he was always a weird kid, and I think because of the drugs. I think it was because of the drugs. He was a scout, and his dad, Bill Cowley Sr., was a scoutmaster. Had a troop, and scouts and stuff. And that's basically it. And that was Bill Cowley Jr. And he lived one house away, and then he still lives there. And like I said, he grows it and sells the pot. And his mom approves of it, or she's brainwashed from him, because he's like 2 years older than I am, a year and a half. Okay, so okay, now let's see who else. Let me stop this for a second, so I don't go above my 20 minutes. Okay. I'm back. I like my necklace and my little skirt. My kind of cute blouse, you know. And my purse, my shoulder pink pouch purse. But I'm here to talk about my childhood friends, and this will be my second segment of it, and but I'm a CD crossdresser. Right now, I'm thinking about transgendering from male to female. I don't know if I'll go all the way or not, but I'm talking about my childhood friends, and so see. Then there's the Hamiltons who were across the street from me, and I live, like I said, on a dead-end street at 1319 Poplar Place, Kalamazoo, Michigan, 49001. And let's see. Okay, so there's the Hamiltons across the street. They didn't have kids. I think they had kids, but they were older, and then they had kids. So those kids come over to the Hamlin's house, and I forget their names. There was a blonde girl. She was a blonde girl, and then she had a brother, or brother had a sister, or whatever we want to call it. But they were both cool. We used to play with them every time they come over at the Hamlin's house. So I'm not sure if their last name was Hamilton or not. So I'm not sure. But they were friends of ours. And then let's see what else. Okay, I got those. Okay, then let's see. Oh, the Ranges. Okay, the Ranges lived just off the street, one house off of Poplar Place on the Stockbridge, and they were the Ranges. It was Kevin Range and Paul Range. Paul Range was closer to my age. He was like 2 years older, or year and a half. I think they were a year and a half older, and that was Paul Range, and then Kevin Range, and they'd always come down the street every so often and play, ball and stuff on our street, kickball and baseball and stuff like that on our street. We just do it on our street. And Kevin Range was like 3 years older than me, I think, maybe 4. 3 or 4 years older, and he comes down one time on our street, and he has an Army helmet. He has something in it, right? And he's putting it in his mouth, right? And putting it back in the Army helmet. And he's blowing. It looks like smoke coming out, but it's what it was is it's dry ice. He had a chunk of dry ice in that Army helmet. He'd put it in his mouth and put it out, like quick in, quick out or something. And he'd blow it out. Look, it's like winter out. Because he had cold breath. We blew out. And he thought that was kind of funny. He switched it around like that in the Army helmet. That was funny. That was one of the things I remember in my childhood. It was funny. And another thing, when we had a bow and arrow, he had a bow and arrow, right? I mean, this was a real bow and arrow. It's just, but it wasn't a hunting bow or hunting arrow. He was just using a regular arrow. He says, "Watch what I can do." Bam, like that. You pull it back like that. Bam, like that. And it goes so far up, you can't see it. And we're waiting for it to come down. Some bitch comes down, almost sticks him in the leg. And that was dangerous, man. He said, He said, watch this. Boom! And it goes way up. It goes way up there. You can't even see it. And we're looking for it. Hell, it hit the ground by the time we saw it. Man, we could have got hurt. We could have got hurt with that one. Because you shoot something straight up like that, because he shot it straight up. And it comes stick in your head. But, that was kind of funny. That was Kevin Range did that. And with the Army helmet, that was Kevin Range again. He was kind of a weird dude. No one really liked to be around him because he's kind of hyper all the time. He was always hyper, and no one liked to be around him. I like Paulo. Paulo's like the opposite of that, and he's a very mellow kid. And they were always in shape and sports people. And then let's see, who else was that? Who else was on my street? I think we had some other friends too. Yeah, but those were my main friends. And what else was I gonna say I forget what else I was gonna say about my friends and stuff. Well, like Timmy and I would come over and we'd bowl. Like we'd bowl with tin cans and do different stuff. One time he put gasoline on a fire. Okay, the fire started going down. I'm going, come on, we got to get that going up. And I know gas will do it. And I said, I ain't doing it. And I said, let's see you do it. He pours it on there and gets a little bit on his leg and it's on fire, man. I started laughing. That's one thing I started doing. I mean, my whole childhood was funny. I mean, it was funny. Any little thing would be happening, I'd be laughing. like when Bill Kelly got hurt on, like when he, pedaling his bike, he ran into a stop sign. Because I remember this kid is always, kind of a little high, from marijuana or some kind of drug, because he said he did every drug. And he was fun to watch, and it was funny. He was very funny, and I'd laugh at him, man. I'd get the biggest kick out of him watching him do stuff. Not just ride a bike, but just walk down the street. He'd like just barely miss a sign or something. It'd be funny. It'd be funny. And when he ran like a girl. He still runs like a girl today. He runs like a girl. He said he was on a football team. I'm going, yeah, what kind of football was it? Here you go. He runs like a girl. That's Bill Cowley. But I get a kick out of his ass. He was funny. He was funny as hell. I get a big kick out of him. But he hates me though, because he says I turned him in for his pot. Well, his pot's legal, so what can I do? What can I do about, if I turn him in, if he's legal, then there's nothing you can do. I mean, other than if it's an FBI agent, if it's FBI, if it's federal, then they could take you to jail and stuff. Because the federal agents, pot is illegal in all 50 states as far as the feds are concerned. Pot is illegal. And so, he hates me. But that's his problem, not mine. And we were kind of friends. I mean, he wasn't no best friend or nothing, even though I knew him probably the longest. I knew him probably the longest out of everybody, because we were friends in diapers, Because my family was there in a 2-bedroom house, in a 2-bedroom brick house, and my dad's brother, my dad's brother, which is my uncle, he formulated a company named Watts Construction, back in the 40s. This is in the 50s, because I was born in 1958. He asked my dad want him to tear that brick house, 2-bedroom house down, because I had 2 brothers and a sister, before I was born. So they had two boys and 1 girl, and they only had a 2-bedroom house plus them, So he said, yeah, okay. His brother asked him, you want me to tear that down, build a new house? So they did. They built a new house because I was going to be born. So I lived there from 1958 to the end of, I lived there from June 19, 1958 to June 30th of 2014, because I did a lot of building, and then I rented out the rooms, and then they turned me in to a city, and the city said, you know, this house condemned when they had to do a rental inspection. So that's how that worked out. But okay, that's the end of that. And then let's see who else. I had a great childhood. I love my childhood. I really miss my childhood. Really, it was great. There's a great episode on the Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is called Kick the Can. That explains what I'm talking about. A great childhood. It's called Kick the Can on Twilight Zone. And I'm Dan for now. And I might be. Oh, that's right. That's right. I also was friends with Henry. This guy. Okay, it was. See, it's Elsie, Marie, and Henry. I think there was another guy. I'm not sure if there's another boy in there or not. I think there was. There's an older guy, older than us. So it was Henry and another guy. Actually, I think it went the older. Marie, I think, might have been the oldest, or the other guy, and those two were kind of older. But then there was Henry, and then there was Elsie. Elsie was their mother, and their dad was never around. So, but that's another friend of mine, and he came over one Christmas one time. I think I know what he wanted. He wanted to have sex. I think, but because he might be gay. I don't know, but or might be like me. I don't know. He likes anal sex, but because I'm an anal bottom, I like cross wrestling, and I'm thinking about transgender. Don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but I feel more comfortable this way. So, see? But anyway, that's about who I had as friends as a child. And I was done being friends with them after junior high school. So, and today is, what is today? Today is 8/14/2015.